Hey, everybody. Today, I wanted to dive right into a wonderful article that was in the October 2025 Liahona by Jeremy R. Yagi. He's in the 70, and his talk is entitled Keys to Building Christ-like Connections in Relationships. I know that as we're trying to help our children develop healthy tech usage, develop healthy sexuality, developing healthy connections, real world relationships is key. So I wanted to go over 5 components that he talks about, and I hope that you will review the talk in its entirety. It's linked in the description box above. So let's dive right in. So in this article, Elder Yagi talks about how Satan is the great separator. One of the major challenges of living in today's society is that a lot of us feel isolated and lonely. We feel disconnected from each other. We might be in the same room or in the same house, but with everybody looking at their own screen, it's hard to feel like we are making genuine connection. We need to make that a priority in our home. We want to strive for genuine connections in our friendships and in our neighborhoods and wards. We want to be the kind of person that really knows how to connect with people. So his first point is that we should not rely on counterfeit connection. He says, intimacy occurs when people feel loved, understood, and connected to each other on a deep, authentic level. In a world with so many technological advancements, it may seem that we are more connected than ever. But under the surface, however, increased time spent on screens may be interfering with our connection to others. So take an honest look at your screen habits. I actually have a screen goal that I set that is a limit for how much time I can spend on my phone every day. I think I cross it probably 5 of the 7 days. But I'm really trying to set my devices down and look in people's eyes, to really see them and be present for them, to really connect with them. We just can't do that when we have a screen in our face. And connecting with someone through social media or watching a YouTube video or texting is just not the same as really making a commitment to develop one-on-one, real world relationships. So his second heading is entitled, Consider Your Ways. So take an honest look. Are you spending your time in ways that help you connect with others? Or are you spending most of your time on a screen? Are you spending your time trying to build connections, trying to fully understand people, trying to serve the Lord? Are you spending time in your scriptures, pondering, listening to uplifting music or podcasts? Are you spending your time doing things that strengthen your relationship with other people and strengthen your relationship with the Savior? He says to start with small goals. You don't need to make it complicated. And maybe just make a goal this week to reach out to a friend and schedule time that you could go to lunch or go for a walk or go to the gym or hike a trail or play pickleball together. Whatever it is, schedule one thing with a friend this week. He also talks about how we need to step back from pride and into humility. We need to take an honest look at ourselves and find ways that we can improve and how we need to be willing to share our struggles, our weaknesses, things that we're having a hard time with others. These things actually help us to connect, and they help us to seem more vulnerable and real with each other. It's okay not to be perfect. Nobody's perfect but the Savior. And being open and honest about ways that we can actually use some support in our own lives and being willing to offer that support to others is a great way to build connection and help people feel Christ-like love. He also talks about the importance of spending time in the temple. In the temple, we get a true, full, expanded view of why we're here, who we are, and who God needs us to be. We can also listen for his guiding inspiration to help us make those small changes we can make in our daily lives to bring us closer to him. Elder Yagi's fourth topic is seeking balance and wholeness. So many times, it's really easy for us to be overwhelmed, so overwhelmed by one aspect of our lives that we completely lose balance in all other areas of our lives. Growing up, my father repeatedly stressed the need to have balance in all areas of my life. It's those little daily habits of connecting to heaven, of doing things every day to enhance our physical and mental capacities, and reaching out to do small acts of service to others that we find most joy and stability in our lives. And it can be really easy to let those things be the first things we let go of in times of crisis or stress. I had a wonderful elderly man in my ward who used to always say, "Put your first things first." And it really is true. Do you remember the object lesson? They'd get a jar, and one side would be full of sand, and the other side would have a bunch of rocks, and you had to fit it all in the jar. And if you dumped the sand in first, you couldn't fit the rocks in the jar. But if you fit the rocks in first and then dump the sand over the top, you suddenly had room for everything. Those rocks represent all those little daily first things. First things for connecting to heaven, first things to connecting to strengthening our spiritual and mental selves, first things to looking for ways we can serve. When we do those first things first, everything else will fall into place because we will be connected to the Savior. We'll have an eternal perspective. Remember, eternity doesn't start after we die, eternity starts now. And that leads to his final point, which is to put God first. If we're building our eternity now, what are we doing to build it? Our relationships are eternal. Are we giving them the time and attention that they need? There are so many things that are fleeting in this world. Our connection to the Savior and our connection to each other are the things that go with us into eternity. We need to make sure that we're putting our first things first and developing those Christ-like connections that are going to be with us forever. Please review Elder Yagi's talk linked in the description box, and let me know if there's anything that stood out as helpful or ways that you know that you want to improve after reading his words. Remember, if you need extra support in developing healthy sexuality or healthy relationships, you can find free resources on the webpage linked in the description box above. You can also schedule a time to meet with me for a guidance session where I can help you figure out what to do next as you're trying to build the kind of life that you are dreaming of as you're trying to build your eternity now. Talk to you soon.